You're listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Listener discretion is advised at all times.
Hello and thank you for downloading and listening to an episode of the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. This is our debut on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. We're happy to be here. I am joined tonight by Ricky. Hello Ricky.
Good evening, how are you doing?
I'm alright, and so far we have JR on the line. How are you, JR?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and for anyone who's new to the show, I am Clive. That may or may not be my real name. So, we've got a busy one tonight, guys. Will we just get right into it?
Let's get torn into it.
So, obviously we've got the Survivor series coming up at the weekend there. We've got there's too much to talk about with you with regards to NXT, so what I'm going to do is put in a wee pre-recorded segment just before the quiz later on, but we'll talk about a wee touch on quickly with regards to Raw from this week. So, right off the top of my head, I can't remember a single thing about Raw apart from Braun Strowman power slamming Kane through the ring, but I'm sure Ricky will be able to enlighten me as to what else happened on the show.
I think, in my opinion, it was one of the better Raws I've seen in a while. When saying that, to be honest, Raw's been quite decent, but in terms of a go home episode, it definitely was enjoyable. Things that stood out obviously was Triple H announcing he was going to be in the 5-on-5 male match, Raw vs SmackDown. Paul Heyman cut an excellent promo as well. You had the return of Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. You had obviously Braun Strowman and Kane as well. And then you had Samoa Joe and Finn Balor.
Yep, their story continues. That's good.
Yeah. So to me, it was quite packed. I really enjoyed it. It was, like I say, there was a lot of real good moments in it. Probably the biggest moment, obviously, being Triple H announcing he was coming into the main event, and obviously Bayley being confirmed as the 5th member of the female Raw 5, which didn't really come as too much of a surprise, but overall I thought a very, very good Raw.
Well, there were rumours that it was going to be Paige returning to the main roster, and she was scheduled to be the last woman.
Mm-hmm. That wouldn't have made much sense to me, to be honest. I don't understand why. No offence to Alicia Fox, I think she's done quite well. She's been quite entertaining, but why would you give up Bayley's potential spot and give it to Paige and leave Bayley off the card completely, when in reality it should be Alicia Fox? If anyone's going to miss it, it would be her. But maybe Paige will debut at Survivor Series. It would be not debut, come back at Survivor Series, but I think most likely I could probably see her coming back next Monday or Tuesday.
Probably. Because, JR, as far as I'm aware, Bayley was the one that secured the victory for the Raw Women last year. Is that right?
I can't remember. I can't remember at all. I don't remember any of the women's matches.
I'm pretty sure that she won it, and then she scored the last victory pinfall, and Charlotte was on the ropes, and Charlotte came in and attacked Bayley after it. That rings a bell for some reason.
I think that's what it was.
It would be a bit unfair of her, because Bayley's had a bit of a horrendous year booking wise, so a strong showing at Survivor Series would be accepted by myself.
You were talking about Bayley.
I had to pause the show a wee second there to welcome and introduce Barry to the show. How are you doing, Barry?
I'm doing excellent, thanks very much. Yourselves, guys?
We're all well, thank you.
Yeah, we're doing well, mate.
Good.
Yeah, it's good to have you all on. It's nice to start the social suplex journey with all four of us here for a fatal four-way. So I think we were just talking about the Bayley situation there, that she should be getting a better turn of booking this time around. Maybe it's going to be one of her lucky pay-per-views over the next few years. We'll see what happens there. It's obviously Asuka's Survivor Series pay-per-view. I think she'll have quite the impression. I hope she has quite the impression that it keeps on going. JR, what do you think?
What was that, sorry?
Just saying, do you think Asuka will have a good showing?
Oh, definitely. Sorry. Definitely. I think I actually changed my prediction for tonight based on that, because for some reason I forgot that she's in the match. I think she can. They've treated her well, man. They put her in the main spot. You don't really have to fucking get her doing that many promos. Just get her out there and people will just enjoy her wrestling.
Aye. I think it was quite a lot of stuff going on in Raw, so we'll move on a wee bit to the biggest announcement of the night. Was Triple H adding himself into the 5v5 match. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Barry, how do you feel about it?
I was shocked for a start anyway. I was glad to get rid of Jason Jordan. As I predicted last week, I thought he might have been the one that set aside for somebody big coming in. I'm all for it, because it's essentially just a complete dream match, isn't it? It's like a match you'd make up on like one of the WWE games on the computer. It's just I feel it is though. It's just, I'm happy about it. It just shows though they were preparing him with this. He was on the UK tour fighting stuff, so it just showed that that's what it was for, so he could get practice for this. So no, I'm happy with it.
I hadn't really taken into account that him doing all the European house shows was basically shaking off any ring rust that he would have had.
Well, I had that at the back of my mind, that might have been a possibility, so, but I didn't see whether it would fit him into the Survivor Series match, but they
were quite sneaky with that though, because like, did he not just come in because Kevin Owens had to go home?
Aye, that's right.
So like he came in and it's like, it's just fine, they're just short on house shows, and then all of a sudden he's fucking, alright, I'm back for ICW.
I think he took Roman Reigns' place, did they know?
Yep.
On the tour. Not Kevin Owens, I think.
Kevin Owens
no,
was SmackDown.
It was Kevin Owens in Chile, and then...
Oh, was it? Right.
And, yeah.
I thought he was just maybe doing the Raw matches, he actually done.
I think it was a mixed tour in Chile.
Was it?
Aye, and then Kevin Owens had to go home because I think something was up, and I think Triple H went over to cover for him.
Is that what came of there to get sent home for the tour then?
No, this was like, I don't know, man, like a month ago or something.
Right.
This was before TLC, when there was loads of folk having food poisoning and stuff like that. AJ Styles had food poisoning, but he still made the TLC show a few nights later, and Kevin Owens had to go home. That was different from Kevin Owens and Sammy being sent home.
Right. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This whole Triple H added in, as you were saying, Barry, it's pretty cool in terms of, like, it's a powerhouse matchup, but if we're going to get another one of these McMahon-Helmsley eras, version 4.5 or something like that, because it's been happening a lot, and as far as I'm concerned, Raw has been very watchable, like a lot of better segments and stuff over the last few months, basically since Triple H and Stephanie have been off telly. Now you've got Stephanie coming on, threatening the GM's job yet again, and Triple H is coming in as the muscle, but he's basically Stephanie's attack dog, as it were, so I'll try and look past it, and hopefully it would appear that it could be setting up Triple H versus Angle. But does anyone feel sorry for Jason Jordan in all of this, Ricky?
Yeah, I do. just in a sense that, like, saying what I said with Jinder last week, like, biggest match you create on that sort of, you get told like the night before, or the day before, or the day off of Raw that you're not going to be in the match anymore, and does that in the match itself, like, he's every bit as good as just about anyone in the match, like, wrestling ability wise, talent wise. So it's a bit of a shame, but also I think this will probably lead to a much needed heel turn from him. So I look forward to that and just seeing where that ends up going. I definitely think he's going to turn on Angle at some point, and it could potentially lead to a match at the Rumble, or Jason Jordan could be your 2017-2018 version of Authority Seth Rollins.
Oh, I don't know.
That he could line himself with Triple H and Stephanie after turning on Kurt, or after he turns on Kurt, like he could eventually line himself with Stephanie and Triple H, perhaps. But I think it will be more so it will just be like, you took me out of the match, asked you not to, and then you stood there and watched Triple H hit me with a pedigree and you done nothing, and then he would probably just turn on Kurt at that point, leading to a match at Rumble.
I'll go as far as saying actually I think Jason Jordan will screw Kurt at the match of Survivor Series, actually.
See, that came into my head as well, but I'm also convinced that Sami and Kevin Owens are going to cost SmackDown to win, and I just don't see...
Oh no, I don't think it might cost him the match. I just think it might cost him his place, and I think he might get the podium. I think I don't trust in that match.
See, that's the thing. Part of me is thinking they're probably going to go with one of them rather than two, but I'm also convinced that Kurt Angle's going to be one of the last two guys in the ring, and I'll explain later on when we get to prediction. I actually see Kurt like getting the pin to win the match, so I'm not so sure. But it could go either way with that. But just going back to what Clive says about Stephanie McMahon and stuff berating the GM, like that's her usual shtick, and it's just boring how she just comes out and just berates and belittles everyone. It's like, this is getting kind of boring, and it's Kurt Angle, and it's just like, I'm fed up watching it. She done it with Mick Foley time and time again. She's done it with so many people, and it's just sort of getting boring now. But it's obviously going to lead to a match with Triple H and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. But I said I am quite kind of already fed up with her.
I think I would be happy if the Triple H Kurt Angle match, if it was to happen, would be at the Rumble instead, to get it out of the way, and have something a bit more special for Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, because he's fought Triple H before. But see, at the same time, there's a lot of the argument that there are too many part-timers taking up spots in WrestleMania. So if you've got two part-timers contained in one match, then that does free up some space for someone else. So it's a double-edged sword. There's positives and negatives for it. But we will just have to see what happens. It's going to be 1,000 different plot twists and turns that go on in the men's 5v5 match. So we'll just need to see what happens and get the popcorn out for it. So, speaking of popcorn, we had the big invasion on SmackDown. I don't know if because I personally prefer Raw, that I wanted Raw to finally get the revenge that they sought from when they were attacked from SmackDown a few weeks ago. But it just seemed like a more received angle than last time. Did you enjoy it, Barry? You said you're up to date with SmackDown, aren't you?
Say that again, I don't hear a bit about SmackDown.
You're up to date with SmackDown now? Yes?
Up to date, aye, yep. After a bit of messing about with the recording never worked, so I just watched all that, watched wrestling and stuff, but I've watched wrestling for that long now that I was convinced as well was Ricky that KO and Sami would screw Team SmackDown, but when you leave the team like Raw as the one that looks stronger, the SmackDown before the pay-per-view, it normally means it's going to go the opposite way. But I think in this instance there'll be a few twists and turns through the match where you think Raw's going to lose, or they're going to win, they're going to lose, they're going to win. So it looks like they've got the momentum now, which usually thinks SmackDown will win the match. So it'll be interesting, but I'll tell you what, that was a very exciting end of SmackDown. One of the better SmackDowns I've seen for a while as well. And I was glad to see Raw getting the advantage. I think that was a better invasion, that one. I would say so as well.
JR, did you were picking up on the t-shirts, the Shield t-shirts?
Aye, they're vomit.
I quite enjoyed that actually.
But it's just I don't know. I just don't like the the red and the blue t-shirts. I think it makes everybody kind of look a bit lame. But Braun Strowman tartaned into the ring with his wee tank top, his wee raw tank top.
I'll tell you one of the reasons why I think they do that with the red and blue. There's that many people that they could easily get confused and start attacking somebody in the same roster.
Aye, that's true actually.
That is what it'll be. Because I was looking at one point, I was like, how would you keep up with all this? And I was like, the red and blue, that's it exactly. Because it could easily happen. I thought I seen that actually happen at one point, and I thought, nah, surely no. But I think that'd be one of the main reasons why it happens.
That'll be why football teams have away kits, so they know who to pass to in the field.
Well, that is common knowledge, aye.
I'm just transferring that.
I didn't know that. Today I learned.
TIL.
What? The away team thing?
Leave me alone. It was one of the funniest parts of that segment for me was Titus O'Neil was absolutely furious. He came down as if it had been him who'd been personally wronged throughout this whole ordeal. He was laying into folk left, right and centre and he was screaming in their face. It was top notch stuff from Titus this week.
I thought it was great when, not just because I absolutely hate that Mojo Rawley, but the connection Braun Strowman got with him with the punch, it was that much a good connection. He took a double take and had to look back at him as if to say, is he alright? It was great.
I wonder if Titus will get suspended again because he battered a McMahon yet again.
He was definitely laying it in, man.
Oh aye, he loves it. He chews the scenery whenever he can. It was a nice it was actually good seeing Shane get his comeuppance because I've not enjoyed Shane. Well, I have enjoyed him obviously, but he's been a bit of an arsehole on telly in the last few weeks, as if he's just this amazing guy all of a sudden. So it's quite cool seeing him take a doing. And as you said there, Barry, like whenever on the go home show, like wrestler A beats wrestler C down in the middle of the ring, well, that's following Sunday. B's going to win. But there's just so much going on. This, like, especially if last year's 5v5 man's match is anything to go by, you're not going to have a clue what's going to happen.
Exactly.
There was a promo at the start of the SmackDown which Ricky was quite a fan of. Do you want to tell us about that one, Ricky?
Just quickly going back to the invasion angle, I think for me the best part of the invasion angle is when the Usos came running down and then they came face to face with Roman and they both just came to like a standstill and neither of them done it for a split second, and it was just that whole, I guess blood's thicker than water after all. And then you had Seth Rollins and Ambrose attack them, and then after that, like, they never had any interaction. Like Roman never attacked either of them and vice versa. I don't know, I just kind of like that.
Maybe that's why they didn't have the Shield or like Rollins versus the Usos, because of Roman Reigns' familial connection.
No, I don't know, not sure. I think their plan was probably to put Roman in the 5-on-5, but then it was getting to the point that they weren't sure when he was going to get cleared, and I think they probably just went ahead and says, right, we can get Triple H in there and then we can go New Day versus Shield instead. But going back to the opening segment, or the second segment, Daniel Bryan's promo was just really good. He made a point. He says that when the going gets tough, Brock Lesnar quits. He quit WWE and he quit to a half-assed knee bar in the UFC as well. Which was kind of fucking. It was like a full-on shoot. It felt like he used Paul Heyman's sort of like structure of his promo and how he introduced himself as AJ's advocate and etc. It was just an excellent promo, and he looked really fired up. Which obviously led, which I don't know where it came from, but earlier on in the week he did mention how he's 85% going to wrestle probably elsewhere, or he's got a 15% chance of wrestling in WWE sort of thing. And that led me to think that maybe they are considering letting him wrestle in the WWE. But aye, that promo itself it really got, like, it just made you want to look forward to that match even more, even though we can all probably predict what the result's going to be. But you're just looking forward to it because it hypes that little bit more and that little bit bigger. I thought Daniel Bryan done an absolute amazing job.
JR?
I think Daniel Bryan is underrated as a promo. Like, that just showed how fucking strong he is as a talker. It's fucking amazing. Like, me and my missus were actually watching it, and normally she'll come in and, like, she doesn't really, like, sit through like a full SmackDown, but, like, because of that strong start, like, she sat and watched the whole SmackDown with me, and what a fucking talker, man. It was great. He was fired up. I really would like to see him in a ring. I don't care what one it is, even mine's.
I don't really know how to respond to that. We could put you in the cattle mutilation at the same time. That would be quite a feat. You were saying there about Daniel Bryan saying he's going to wrestle again. I can understand his passion for it and that he's determined to get back into the swing of things. He's got this oxygenation program that he's doing, and he said he's only got like 80 more sessions left before he's completed the therapy. I'm like, 80? That's a hell of a lot that you've to go through still. And he keeps going on, it's like, if it doesn't work in WWE, I'll try it on the indies, where head protection isn't as big a thing as it is in WWE. I don't think it's a good idea what he's wanting to do. Concussions are bad for a reason. We've seen what happens in the past with concussions, and obviously Vince doesn't want to have that happen again. Bryan's just got a brand new baby there. He's thinking about that. He's thinking like he shouldn't be thinking, right, I want to wrestle. He should be thinking, I need to be here for my daughter. I know I'm getting a wee bit sentimental here, but you know what I mean.
I think that he's kind of like Ric Flair in that sense, that he just can't be away from it, and because he's kind of been robbed of it, and it's not as if he can just go away because he's still under contract and he's trying to fucking roll out his contract so he can fucking go elsewhere. It's nuts.
He's desperate to wrestle again. Do you think it will happen, Ricky?
It will happen. That's 100%, I think, almost inevitable. But where it will happen, it's difficult to say. I'm not sure I've been on record in saying it, but if Vince McMahon doesn't let him wrestle, he's always going to either go to TNA or Ring of Honor or New Japan. He's got all these different options he can go to. I personally don't think he will wrestle in WWE. It's far too much. The risk outweighs the cons outweigh the pros. It's not even close. So I think no matter what happens, even if he goes off to Ring of Honor or TNA or New Japan or comes over to UK or whatever and signs a full-time contract with a company, that company becomes the biggest in the world, and ultimately 5 years down the line it puts WWE out of business, all because of Daniel Bryan. It's just the blame. You won't be able to blame Vince at all for that. It's just far too risky. It's far too risky for Vince to take. Far too much of a risk. But there's just this little part of me that keeps thinking that he might end up wrestling in WWE, and that's what I kept thinking in the closing segment of SmackDown. I was kind of waiting, and it was the first time, and I might have said it to yourself, or it was John Ross, and I said it was the first time that I found myself since he quote unquote retired, that I found myself like, I want to hear his music come down for the save. I'm ready for it, sort of thing. And I genuinely thought he might have, like, it just popped into my head, and I was just sat there looking at it, and I was like, right, I'm waiting for the music, I'm waiting for his music, and it never came. So it's going to happen, but I think the big question is where where is the match going to take place and what company is it going to take place for.
Well, we'll probably need to wait till later on in 2018 anyway when his contract expires, so you never know. He's got those 80 more sessions left. We'll see what happens then. Barry, obviously you were a big Daniel Bryan fan when he was wrestling. Would you like to see him back, or do you think it's too much of a risk?
It'll just depend really if he feels himself, because obviously he's got a family life now, kids and stuff, so I can see it happening. I can see it, but whether it's in WWE or not, I don't know. But I kind of like Ricky's point there, the fact that if he went elsewhere and then puts Vince out of business, because it's only this week we've seen the Young Bucks talk about how they would like to work with CM Punk. They've actually invited him to come in to Ring of Honor. That was to happen. That could convince Daniel Bryan to go there as well.
I wasn't aware of that invitation at all.
What apparently was one of them Bucks, I can't remember which one was speaking, but apparently says in an interview, I want to say it was either GQ or Rolling Stones, I can't remember which one it was now, that basically says that within the first year he'd left, like they were constantly like pestering him, sort of thing, to come back into wrestling, and he would just sort of kept saying, no, I'm not interested, I don't want to, but then they left it at basically, if and when I decide to come back in, you know, yours will be the first call I make, just to sort of gauge the interest and see what's happening in the indie scene or Ring of Honor or wherever you guys are, sort of thing. But in terms of CM Punk, I don't know where he'd end up if he ever does come back. But I don't think he's got... I think he's got an issue with Vince, but I think his real hatred is for Triple H. And that's where... I don't know, it was similar to like Bret Hart, that you might like kiss and make up, but deep down, like you don't really forgive them, and that's what I think he could be thinking, is that out of all the things that you'd done, like you gave me my termination papers on my wedding day, and that, I don't know, I think he blames Triple H for a lot of things that happened with him and happened after he was gone, and I don't know. I'm just not convinced he's going to end up in WWE again.
I don't think he will.
I thought you said a few weeks ago in this, you thought it was going to happen.
Aye, but just when you sit and think about it, and then like you examine it, I think he genuinely despises Triple H, and I think that will be the big stumbling block. Don't get me wrong. See, if Cult of Personality hit and he came walking out, like, grown men would be in tears. Like, that's how emotional it would be.
The population would go down as well. A lot of people would be having heart attacks.
Exactly. So sometimes you just don't know. And I'm, unlike, I know John Ross is, I'm not going to say like a quote unquote like hardcore New Japan, but he's got the New Japan like sort of equivalent of a network, and he's obviously more into it than ourselves, and he's more aware of like quote unquote guys that are on the indies and doing well and stuff like that. But so if CM Punk was to ever go for Ring of Honor and stuff like that, like I don't know if I'd ever be in a position where I could commit to watching it full time, sort of thing, you know, which would be kind of sad because I was an absolute massive CM Punk fan. I don't know. I just think it's difficult. I don't know if he ever will be back in WWE.
Mm-hmm. No, but that was this week. I did an interview and we spoke about. That, like you said, there, CM Punk had left it. Yeah, if I ever do come back, it'll be usually the first guys I speak to. So that could be interesting if that ever happened and they convinced Daniel Bryan. But we'll see.
We'll all go on to Jericho's Wrestle Cruise. Right. Well, we talk some Survivor Series now then.
Great news.
Right. I don't exactly want to talk about the Enzo and Kalisto match. What I want to
Did we kind of forget the Charlotte thing? Sorry.
Well, I'll bring that up. I'm going to bring that up shortly. Don't worry about that. The infamous... See, this whole Kalisto is the protagonist for Enzo at the moment. I think there's a bit of an emphasis on the push for the Indian market is being redirected to the Hispanic market, right? So look what's happened in the last few weeks. Jinder has lost the title. He's not even getting a rematch for the title in India. One of the Indian shows has been cancelled. Jinder seems to be nowhere in sight, right? So since then, or round about the same time, Kalisto's getting a push on the Cruiserweight show. Sin Cara's getting a bit of a push on SmackDown, and he's got a decent character about him now, where he's more of a brawler rather than a high flyer. So he's getting a push in the US title scene, and even Cien Almas in NXT, he's going for the NXT title. So it's as if they're saying, right, stuff it, this Indian market program, this project isn't working, let's just focus again on the Mexican, the Hispanic side of things again. Did anyone else notice that, or do they think I'm just clutching at straws?
I don't know if you can call Kalisto having a birthday party celebration on 205 Live a push.
No.
I seen the advert on SmackDown, it's like, Kalisto, come and join me, Kalisto, in my birthday celebrations. I'm like, looking at it going, have I been sitting getting steaming on the couch? But just woke up for a weird vivid dream or something like that.
See, since Kalisto came to 205 Live, he has been unbearable. He's like a child that's had too much sugar and he's just wanting in about everything. It's like, Kalisto, calm down, son. The Sin Cara, who was a laughingstock between you two the last couple of years, is now the more believable wrestler. You're just a shambles.
Kind of lost my respect for him when he couldn't do that promo, that something lucha thing. Woo!
Oh, he's terrible. But that's all I really wanted. There's not really much to say because Enzo does my boxing and Kalisto's just terrible. But I've not really got anything to add about the Enzo Kalisto thing. So we'll talk about your.
I think that's the packet of Chris match. Sorry.
I think it's a pre-show match.
Aye.
I
think the whole Hispanic thing, like, Vince has been trying to do that for like decades. Like, he had Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio is arguably like one of the top 2 or 3 like Hispanic wrestlers of all time, probably. But not even that. If you just take into account, he is like an all-time sort of legend. Like, he was a great wrestler for WWE. So Vince is always trying to find like that next sort of big Hispanic star, because apparently it was supposed to be Sin Cara when he first came in, and the moment he came in, he just fucking botched his entrance, and so he never got off to a good start. So he's always looking for that guy. It was supposed to be Del Rio at one point until he took up the gear. They moved on to Sin Cara. So he's always trying to find someone. I don't know if he's putting more of an emphasis on it now, but I think the Indian market, I think Vince badly, or whoever made the decision, probably was Vince, obviously, because it's his company. I think they underestimated the actual market itself. You may have billions of people over there, but not a lot of them out there will have the kind of money that you need them to have in terms of like to have network, get the network, and do all this and that. Like for a country that's from the outside looking in looks amazing and stuff, and it seems like there's a lot of wealth. There's a lot of poverty over there as well. So I don't know if Vince even took that into account, sort of thing. So,
I'm pretty sure that their PVP fucking, so the pay-per-view fucking things are actually cast over there on normal TV.
They are, yeah.
But it's on a delay. But like, if you don't, like, to your point, if you know that you're going to get it for free, why would you subscribe to the network?
Aye, look. It was a strategy. It was worth a go. It just never panned out. So time to move on. But in terms of this Enzo Kalisto match, I don't give a fuck. I think my prediction is that Enzo will win, and then hopefully Pete Dunne kicks his head in, takes the title off him eventually. But no interest in that match whatsoever.
I think that's one that actually belongs on the pre-show.
Just a quick question for everyone here, since I was talking about cruiserweights. What are your thoughts on the potential rumours that, or the rumours that Neville and WWE are talking again, and talks have been going well
I'm very surprised, actually, pleasantly surprised, but still surprised nonetheless.
I think he'd be perfect on SmackDown. Come in straight away and just potentially get like straight into the US title picture scene.
Aye, he comes back. He's not going to be in the cruiserweight division again.
No chance.
I sort of had a feeling at the back of my head that someday it would eventually have agreed to come back, but I didn't realise it would be this quick. But aye, I'm very happy if that happened.
Well,
I think you would. It could be a struggle to bring him back as a heel because he's going to get such a babyface pop because everyone knows now what happened. Or not so much the details, but everyone knows that he's not happy and he left and all that. So I think if he does come back, he would get a big babyface pop. I think keep the attitude, but just don't cheat. Just keep the same character. Aye, it's kind of what Brock's like, I suppose.
Yep.
He's a quote-unquote face, but the guy literally just beats the shit at anybody and everybody. But does it in like a destructive manner without ever like resorting to like cheating or anything, so aye. So I also think you don't have enough of those kind of characters. Guys that just kick the hell out of everyone. But in his Roman say they're not a good guy or not a bad guy or whatever. It's just they don't cheat. They're just an absolute monster. But it'll be interesting to see if he comes back.
Give Neville and give Pete Dunne all the titles all the time.
No.
Oh, right. Okay. Fine.
We want to give Rusev all the titles.
Oh, listen. Let's not go there tonight, right. Miz versus Corbin has become a social media war rather than a promo war in the ring. I hope Miz destroys Corbin. I have hated Miz for a long time, but I hope Miz puts Corbin in his place, and I hope he does it by cheating as well. Anyone else, hands up if you agree. I know it's an audio show, but hands up.
My hand's hitting the ceiling there.
My hands are just by my side.
I don't really care much about this match, and Miz they've both tried their best to garner some interest, like through their Twitter videos and stuff like that, but that's not a good. I think Baron Corbin's stock has fallen dramatically recently, and I don't know why he's the US champ. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm kind of remotely, mildly interested in the match. I'm going to go Baron Corbin win. But there's no real logic behind why I've come to that conclusion either. But let's say it's difficult to sort of to get emotionally involved in some of these matches, especially this one here. There's just not been enough interaction in my opinion. For me, a lot of the build up to this has just been Baron Corbin and Sin Cara going at it with each other. So other than that one Miz promo done in the back of the car, which was absolutely amazing, but I'm mildly interested because I'm really enjoying Miz right now. I've liked him for a long time on the mic and in the ring, so just mildly interested to see what happens in this match.
I'm surprised you went for a Corbin win.
No, I know. I think overall it's going to be 4-3 to Raw, but for me it basically come down to this and another match, and I've just. I can't really give you a logical reason why I've picked this, but aye.
Fair enough. Barry, do you have much interest in this match?
Like you said, it's just been a sort of internet war with these two, but even though I was never ever Mizzy's biggest fan, but I hope to God that he does kick his head in here. It just really depends on how you see the pay-per-view going, I suppose, when you decide who wins this match, because you could have arguments either side why you think either man would win. It just depends how many outcomes you've got. If you've got too many Raw guys winning, then I suppose you might think Corbin would win, but I can't see anything other than Miz win here.
Right, same here.
Was I meant to have updated that thing with my predictions, by the way. I see some of you have put yours in it already.
It's alright, we'll do the predictions thing at the end, a wee quick rundown of it, so don't worry yourself there.
So this isn't the predictions we're doing now?
Well, I'll just summarise the predictions at the end.
Right.
And I'll explain the predictions to any new listeners that we have anyway, so I'll keep that later. So, JR, you're wanting to talk about Charlotte winning the title?
Yes. I didn't actually fucking realise that it was our hometown until like halfway through it, and like just realised that everybody was really fucking into the match. And I thought it was just it was a nice title win, and it was nice to actually have a hometown hero like fucking actually win for a change. And it was a great moment. She cut a fucking like a brilliant promo, and like you know that I hate fucking baby faces, and I was just like, I want to hate it, but it's good. You're actually a good baby face now.
It was quite good, and it was heartfelt because like, Ric Flair's the hero of that state. He is Mr. Charlotte, North Carolina. So it was a real moment for them all, and then obviously Ric Flair came out, so it was definitely a feel good moment for the Flair family. But taking aside personal reasons, like her being in her hometown and health problems with her dad, I think they've changed the title because obviously there's been a lot of title changes recently and they're keeping people guessing, but I don't think there was a lot of interest in Natalya versus Alexa Bliss. There was, as far as I'm aware, there was no interaction between either of them. Is anyone aware of that?
No, I think personally, right, I think they did put the title on Charlotte for two reasons. I think the first and main reason was Ric Flair making it through what he made it through, and they also just released, ESPN just released that a 30 for 30, so they wanted to obviously capitalise on that buzz and that he was getting, that Ric Flair and the Flair family in general were getting. So I think that's probably the major reason why they've done it. But I also think they've done it because they wanted to keep Asuka and Charlotte away from each other for the time being.
All right, good.
Because I don't think, I don't know how long they had it in the works for. Maybe they were thinking all along, we'll do it at Charlotte and Carolina, and then we can bring Flair out. We'll get a bigger pop. So that might have been in the works for them, like almost early on. But I think also in the back of their minds are saying that we're not going to give Charlotte and Asuka away until we absolutely need to, until we get them in a one-on-one. But I think that's my two reasons why I think they've done it. In terms of the match itself, it was a good match. You all know that I've got a massive soft spot for the both of them, so it was kind of like, it was kind of bittersweet in a sense that Charlotte, in my opinion, is the best female wrestler in the company, but I've liked Natalya for so long as well. I think she's been really underappreciated. And I know John Ross said she was more so in a chat earlier on, she was sort of like a placeholder, but I see her more than that. I don't know. It was good to see Charlotte win a title. Like I say, I'm just happy it was a good match. But I do think Charlotte having a title is long overdue, though.
Oh, definitely. She should have had that months ago.
Because isn't this her first time with the SmackDown title?
Yep.
So, it was a good match, though.
It was a great match, actually, first and foremost, but I think it's just a case of probably a number of reasons why she got the title. The Ric Flair one's the most obvious thing. SmackDown's ratings have been ridiculously shit recently, so that'll be one of the reasons. And just they're keeping people guessing, so they're having all sorts of title changes. And probably one of the main things is they just didn't trust Natalya versus Alexa Bliss because they had no chemistry whatsoever, and there was very little interest in that match at all.
Moving on, I have a question for all of you. Do any of you have hopes for a decent Brock Lesnar match on Sunday?
Yes.
Aye, definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Big time.
Right.
Big time.
I'll reword
100%.
my question. I know you have hopes for it. Do you think we'll get a decent Brock Lesnar match?
Aye.
Yes.
Because my counter question to that would be, when was the last time we saw a really bad AJ Styles match?
Exactly.
That's the only reason it's going to be good. Like, Brock does the same sort of tough stuff.
That doesn't matter though. It doesn't.
It does. Because the reason why we hated the Braun Strowman match with Brock was because Braun, there was such built up energy and anger between them, and then all of a sudden we never got that from the match. And Braun, for my liking, never got enough offense in. But then when you went back a month to the Samoa Joe one, the reason why we loved that was because Joe fucking took the fight to him, and Joe absolutely annihilated him before Brock came back. So I think what more than anything it's going to come down to is just how they book the match, but specifically how they book AJ, because I think I never saw yourselves, Clive, or John Ross's prediction, but I think you both picked Brock. I know John Ross definitely did. So we can all agree that probably Brock's going to win, but the big thing coming out of the match is how they book AJ, and I think that's the big thing. And I'm expecting a half decent match purely because AJ is there.
Well, you've not seen my prediction for the match yet, and you'll be absolutely shocked because I think AJ Styles wins the match.
I want to believe.
Non-title for a start. Secondly, Brock Lesnar has never won a match at Survivor Series.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yep.
That is true.
So, it's got all the makings for it, especially the fact I think Team Raw wins. So there's no way Brock Lesnar wins that match and then Team Raw win. I think AJ Styles is winning it. I honestly
And who's screwing him?
Screwing who?
There's obviously going to be interference.
You think AJ wins clean?
No, I think that AJ wins from interference from another SmackDown.
You're going to AJ as well?
No, if that situation happens, that's what's going to happen. No, I'm not predicting that. I predict Brock's going to win it, and I think the way that he's going to win it is AJ Styles is going to try and do a phenomenal forearm, and he's going to catch him with it. Brock's going to fall down, and he's just going to get back up and F5 him. Just the same way that he did it with fucking Samoa Joe when he was getting the...
Do you know, I think... Right, so I'll play out the second scenario in a second. Just going with yours, I think I could probably see him setting up the phenomenal forearm, come flying off, and Brock sort of catches him on top of his shoulders and then puts him straight into the F5.
Yep.
So as he's coming down, Brock just sort of catches him, and that's it. Or I think or Jinder Mahal comes down and costs AJ the win.
Or AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm and Brock turns it into his Kimura lock. I think that would be quite believable. That would be easily done. But you were saying when was the last time AJ had a bad match? When was the last time Braun Strowman had a bad match before his match with Brock Lesnar? It doesn't matter how good the previous matches were. It matters what Vince thinks.
It does, because see when you're...
Vince isn't going to let AJ look strong over Brock Lesnar.
That's what I'm saying in terms of the booking. But you can't go into the match like saying it's going to be a shite match when one person in that match is AJ Styles. Like, I understand what you're saying. When's the last time Braun had a bad match? But as I said before, Braun's matches and the build up to that were identical, were all the exact same. Just nothing but absolute brute force. But which is fine, just absolute chaos and carnage, which is fine. But I agree, because Braun's an absolute star. But you can't compare Braun Strowman and AJ Styles.
It's all about momentum. It's not like match styles or what your offense is. It's momentum, and it's not going to matter. I'm sorry, but I've not got my hopes up for a good match, because when was the last really competitive match that Brock Lesnar had? Like properly competitive?
Samoa Joe?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that was very competitive.
What about that fatal four-way?
Well, singles, sorry.
Get the fun about it.
And then
singles match, right?
CM Punk.
Before Joe, it would have been Goldberg at Mania.
I know I'm going to sound like a desperate guy here, but he doesn't count.
But he does, though.
Right,
But
you.
He does.
Right, see the thing is, right, see if we're going to get a shite match, it'll be in the style of Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. So just like a kind of chasey one. That is probably the worst thing that we're going to see. I don't think that they'll just fucking have him come in and completely annihilate him.
What, the one where Taker returned?
Yes,
Right,
like
right.
in that style where he's fucking going to suplex him and like AJ Styles gets on the ropes and he's just barely surviving.
Mm-hmm.
That I could see that happening, and I think that would be the worst outcome.
I think AJ will get enough offense in just to make it look like
I think that should be
to make it look like he's got a glimmer of hope.
Boys, I hope I'm proved
I think
wrong.
he's got all the makings of an AJ Styles win. I really do.
I hope I'm proved wrong in every sense, but I don't think I will be.
Look, for me personally, like, I know we've said bad, negative things about Brock, right? But see, when you sit and think about it, like, honestly, he's actually had he was involved in 3 fucking cranking matches this year. And as much as I hate to admit it, because I don't like Goldberg, the match at Mania was just a fucking hot mess, and it was amazing. The match with Joe was phenomenal. Like when Joe attacked him before the ring, put him through the table, and then the fatal four-way. But no, I think I could see in a sense that like AJ getting some kicks in, getting some moves in, and then but ultimately Brock being like the dominant force in the match. And it wouldn't bother me too much if Jinder Mahal came down and cost AJ the win either.
I could see knowing WWE, they would have AJ beat Brock and then SmackDown loses the title to Jinder Mahal.
Don't fucking
Super
say that.
Jinder.
Totally kills the momentum.
Super Jinder.
See, I don't know if he'll put the title back on Jinder now, to be honest.
Nah.
Quite a lot of people think that as well now, because like he says, one show's been cancelled in India. There's not really been that impressive sales and stuff for tickets over there, so I don't think they'll put back on it. And I think
hopefully not.
I think the dream of having Naka AJ for title in Mania is still there.
Mm-hmm.
See, last thing on Jinder, I think he was the off-season project.
Yes.
That just went wrong.
Mm.
Like, because see, since he's dropped the title, like, I'm back into it. Like, whatever they're doing, they're putting in a real good effort. And it's turning my attention back onto it. Like, I watched the full fucking SmackDown, as I said. I never sit and do that, like, anymore. I watch it on YouTube.
I think I've said it before, and I don't know how you guys still feel about it. Like, to me, his reign hasn't bothered me now. Like, now it's done, I'm like, right, fine. I'm glad it's over. It should have been done about 2 or 3 months ago. But at the time when he'd done it, it was just, I says, do you know what? They're just throwing stuff at the wall and they're going to see what sticks. And they're just trying something different. Whether it works or not is up for debate. But they tried it. They went the full way with it, and it never really worked. It wasn't successful, but it wasn't a complete and utter fucking shitfest bomb scare sort of thing. So, it wasn't
for a longer version of a great Khali title run.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't like as bad as people made out to be. Like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. You're like, there's been worse title reigns.
Aye. Basically, there's 2 at risk that they were planning and probably doing back when Muhammad Hassan was in it. They probably had the idea of him being the champ at one point, and it never happened, so they've just been a bit bold. 10 years, 12 years down the line, and thought, let's just go with it.
Shout,
but I am the same. It's in the bothered me. It's over and done with, and hopefully that's it.
Shout out to Muhammad Hassan.
Rest in peace, Muhammad. The Undertaker killed you. I think he's still falling just now, actually.
He's still not got up from that powerbomb through the stage.
Still not landed.
You'd mentioned the word hot mess. Ricky, and last year's Survivor Series match was one of the best hot messes I've ever seen, and I'm hoping for more of the same this Sunday with the 5v5 man's match, but this is where it's going to get crazy. There's loads of things going on. They've got Jason Jordan potentially turning on Kurt Angle. You've got Sammy.
Sorry, continue. Keep going. Sorry. I was confused what match we're talking about here. The men's 5-on-5?
5-on-5, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
The Sammy and KO possibly interfering with this whole getting sent home being a work, in my opinion. There's just so much going on. There's going to be a square off between Cena and Joe, which is going to be fucking excellent. I'd love to see that at WrestleMania, Cena and Samoa Joe.
Aye, that's a match I actually thought it would have happened there. I was hoping for that match to happen sort of as soon as Samoa Joe came in, but obviously Cena being his other commitments. But aye, you could be right there.
That's definitely
a WrestleMania match.
The Boxing Day house show, definitely having that. Madison Square Garden, Cena and Samoa Joe.
Are they?
Oh yes.
Why?
Oh boy.
Aye, you're going to get so many great face-offs. You're going to get Kurt Angle, Kurt Angle, John Cena.
Again.
Triple H, John Cena.
Again.
Braun Strowman, John Cena.
Again.
Nakamura, Triple H. Bobby Roode, Triple H. Randy Orton and Triple H will still be a good face-off as well.
Kurt Angle, Randy Orton.
Kurt Angle, Shane McMahon. You've got a good few face-offs there, and we're going to get some sort of like good few crazy moments in this match.
JR?
I actually think they were supposed to. Did they have a? I think Angle and Orton either were supposed to have a match before he left, or they did.
Who's that?
Carry on. I'm going to check out. I think they did.
I don't think you can really predict what's going to happen in this match, or who's actually going to win. I've picked Raw to win this one, but like even then, it's like this is just a fucking shot in the dark, man. Like I don't know what's going to happen, and we all know that like last year's match was like 53 minutes. I'm pretty sure it was there or thereabouts, and fucking 53 minutes went in really quick. It didn't drag in for me at all. So if we're going to get another like long 40-minute match here, you know, where there's just a lot of fucking chaotic stuff happening, I'm fucking down for it, and I'm really happy that I'll probably see this one live.
I just confirmed that there. Vengeance 2006, Randy Orton, Kurt Angle.
Oh aye, yes, I remember it now. Aye. That was not long before Kurt Angle vacated the premises.
That's what I'm saying. I thought they were supposed to fight and then he left, or they fought and then he's left. So that's what's happened.
Well, we're very...
To me, I just think I'm really, really intrigued to see how the end of the match goes, because I said it a while back, and I think I'm still going to stick with it. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come down and cost SmackDown to win, and I think the final 2 or 3 will be Triple H and Kurt and against Shane McMahon. And I could see them 2 coming down to cost them the win. I would probably say Kurt or Triple H get the pin over Shane. And I kind of have a feeling that Triple H might pedigree Kurt at the end of the match and like stand over him.
See, the thing is with the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn thing, it put me off the fact that's going to happen now, the way they left the ring in SmackDown. It's almost as if they screwed them there already. So it's sort of expected now if that happens, I think.
It's hard to say.
If they were going to do that, I think there was no need for me, so I'll leave them in limbo there on SmackDown.
Yeah, they could have been a bit more subtle about it.
Aye, exactly.
Right, so I know we haven't touched on the Shield New Day and the Bar and Usos, but there's hell of a lot to get through, so we'll quickly touch on them through the predictions. I'll just quickly explain the prediction side of things. Basically, this podcast has been going for a while, if you're not part of this new network that we're on, and each of the guys predict what's going to happen in the pay-per-view, and we keep score of this. JR joined late, but he is quickly catching up with us, so we're all, funnily enough, Ricky, Barry and myself are all tied at 57 points, and JR is at 42, but JR is very quickly climbing, so I would imagine before WrestleMania that JR will be on top. So we'll see what happens there, but I'll just quickly take your predictions just to confirm, right? So the Cruiserweight match, Ricky, you went for Enzo. If we all just went for Enzo there?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Right. Miz and Corbin, Ricky and JR, you've went for Corbin.
Ben.
Yep.
Barrett and Clive have went for Miz. Right, so, and Ricky and JR have went for Charlotte. I have went for Bliss in this one.
Oofed.
I think she'll cheat to win. She's got the 4 horsewomen's number, Alexa Bliss has. She destroyed Bayley, she destroyed Sasha Banks, and she destroyed Becky Lynch, so she's going to destroy Charlotte as well. There you go. Pay-per-view.
Wicked wee forearm, looking forward to that one.
Barry, what do you predict for that one?
Charlotte, I'm sort of sitting on the fence here, but I would go with Charlotte just because of the fact she won the title on SmackDown. I kind of see her then losing at the Survivor Series. So I would have, if it was Natalya, Alexa Bliss, definitely Alexa Bliss, but no, Charlotte for me here.
Right, so the women's 5v5, all of us apart from Barry have picked Raw. What is your prediction, Barry?
If it's Charlotte, I'll go with Raw. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right, so we're all Raw there. We're all as Raw as...
Hold on a second, hold on. Is it been confirmed? Is Natalya in the team or SmackDown?
No, I don't know. I'm not certain. There's a good point you made, actually.
There's a rumour going about who the potential 5th person is in the SmackDown team, which might shake things up. So
Paige?
Aye.
I thought the 5 had been picked.
Well, that's what I thought, and then I went to check, and I think they're just sort of leaving it in doubt at the minute. So you never know. If SmackDown were to win, it would mean Asuka would have to get like counted out or something, or disqualified. I couldn't see her getting pinned. So
I think Asuka and Nia Jax could destroy them all on their own. Barry, you're the only one that's went for AJ.
Yep. I'll stick with that.
You love your curveballs, ladies and gents. Barry loves a good curveball.
Dylan.
The men's... Pardon you. The men's 5v5, we went for Raw, and I'm going to give myself a bonus point for if Sammy and KO run in. Barry, who have you picked for that one? Feel free to pick a bonus point if you want, guys.
The 5v5, is it?
Uh-huh.
You missed a couple of matches, so
I'm going to get back to them.
Right, cool. Right, so I don't really know how the match will end, but I think it will be Team Raw, and just by pure chance, I'll just see who I think will be the last man surviving. So I think it will be Kurt Angle.
So that's your bonus point request, Kurt Angle to be the last survivor?
Mm-hmm. Aye, hopefully that's my bonus point, aye.
Would any of you other two gents like a bonus point in the men's 5v5?
My prediction is the same as yours.
Sammy and KO?
Yep.
JR?
My bonus point will be that Jason Jordan comes down and fucking costs his dad the match. Even though he's a fucking greeting face, baby face.
Right, no, in fact, my actual prediction is KO and Sammy cost SmackDown the match, but my bonus one is Triple H pedigrees cut at the end as well.
Right, so you definitely you think Sammy and KO is a definite?
I actually might change my bonus point now. I think Kurt might win, but I don't want that as my bonus point. My bonus point is that Jason Jordan comes in and attacks him in the match, and he's laid out for a bit. So it's looking like he might have to be forced to look what happened at TLC, but he comes back down.
Okay. Right. The Bar versus the Usos. I think it'll be the Usos here. Should be a really good match. I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be a cheeky, sneaky match of the night contender as far as I'm concerned.
Agreed, aye, definitely.
Definitely. I was gutted when it wasn't the Shield versus Usos, but this is going to be just as good. I'm going to go with the Usos, but the actual match itself, it could be a match of the night. It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it, actually.
JR, have you got any points about this one?
Just that I think that Sheamus and Cesaro have totally fucking won me over recently, and I think that just any fucking tag team that Cesaro's in just seems to just turn into gold. It's amazing. He seems to bring the best out of people. Really looking forward to it, man. As old Richard was saying there, could be a match of the night. They've been in enough pay-per-views recently, the two of them, and having match of the night, so I actually expect it.
Aye, because like the Shield have been getting all the plaudits in their rivalry that they've had, saying this is the best match at SummerSlam, the best match at No Mercy, or whatever it was. It wasn't just the Shield in those matches. Cesaro and Sheamus more than held their own, and they've been a constant within all the tag team. They've been a constant within the whole tag team rivalries since the start of the year, with the Hardys, Enzo and Cass leading up to WrestleMania and stuff like that. They've been there the whole time, so I'm very happy with their work. But I'm going to predict an Usos win. As much as Cesaro and Sheamus have been excellent, they always get tipped at the top when it comes to when it really matters, like WrestleMania and SummerSlam and all that stuff. And this is another Big Four pay-per-view, so it's going to be the Usos to win. The Usos are on a roll at the moment. Anyone else picking the Usos?
Aye, I'm going to go for them as well. As much as it's annoying, because although Sheamus and Cesaro took a bit of pounding on this show off yourself, Clive and Ricky, but I'd always sort of stood by them. I could see certain potential to start. I think these guys were that into them at first. I think he thought it looked quite weird and awkward, but I could see it for the start. There was something there, and they've pulled out so many great matches as a tag team together. So good luck to them. But I do see the Usos winning this one. Sorry, guys.
I'm going to Usos as well.
So the last one is the Shield versus the New Day. Quite the spectacle this one will be. I imagine this will get a lot of time as well, possibly longest out of a lot of the matches. So, but the Shield they're too hot at the moment. They're going to decimate the New Day, and I'm going to pick a Shield win. Who's the Darth Vader of the quiz tonight?
I know.
Mr. Vader, who do you predict?
I predict the Shield.
Jason, I am your father, Jason.
Because Roman is your bae. There's no way that Roman's losing this, man. No chance.
I know.
He's gone on a big tail.
Ricky?
Shield. This is my match of the night. I think this will be match of the night.
I hope they're all matches of the
night. I'm going definite Shield win. My baby looks strong as fuck. So, right, Shield.
Lovely. And Barry?
Out with the 5v5 men's match, this could potentially be the match of the night also, so I do agree with Richard there. So for me it's a New Day. Sorry, I was going to say a New Day win there. I like my curveballs, but that's a big curveball, that. So the Shield for me.
Thank you very much.
The Shield for me.
The Shield. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your input. Before we move on to the quiz, JR has to sadly leave us for the moment, so thanks, JR. Enjoy Survivor Series weekend.
Yes, definitely. Looking forward to texting you all about it, apart from you, Bryan. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I stay up for it, and then me, you and Ricky can get a wee WhatsApp chat and go.
Yes, thanks for rubbing it in that I'll have to watch it the day later. Thanks, guys.
See what you should do? Just leave that group chat on Sunday night and then come back into it on Monday morning.
I will then.
Well, once you've watched it.
I will.
No, because even if we're discussing it live, he won't be able to see the messages anyway if he's left the group. And then he can come back in the morning. Aye, whatever. It's just whatever's easier.
It's alright.
It's always good to start a new fresh chat.
Don't worry.
We could do that. Or just
about
fucking
you
take a
guys.
day off work on Monday.
Aye, something's wrong with one of the kids.
Listen, let's right, JR, go now, please.
What's going on?
Oh,
I'm just saying,
Right.
thank you, JR, and good night.
Yep. Shout out to what'd you call it? What was that?
Between the
I was
Ropes.
Fucking talking. No. What was it? Yeah, that's it. Between the ropes. We love that podcast, brilliant podcast. But aye, shout out to everybody that's listening on Social Suplex.
Yes, this is our debut, so please be patient and accepting of us. Right, thanks, JR. Night.
Catch yous all.
good night, God bless you.
And before we do the quiz, I'm just going to splice in a little bit of an NXT Takeover preview for you. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to any NXT marks out there. Unfortunately, my fellow black and yellow brand fanboy JR isn't available for this pre-recorded segment, so I thought I would treat you to a small preview for the Survivor Series weekend Wargames Takeover. First of all, I know it's technically an exhibition match, and I don't really think Pete Dunne will lose his UK title, but in the name of God, why is his match with Johnny Gargano on as a dark match and not as like a curtain jerker? Both men have been involved in true Match of the Year candidates in the last 12 months. Gargano's tag team match a year ago was indeed voted the best of 2016, and I would be surprised if Dunne's bout with Tyler Bate at NXT Chicago isn't on the short list next month. According to this week's NXT, mind you, the match will actually take place on NXT TV the following Wednesday, which I suppose is not bad at all, but it would have been more of an appeal if it was on the main card. Either way, as long as I get to see it, that's the main thing. That could be a true barn burner of a match. Another match I'm really looking forward to is this Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream matchup, which, when you think about it, shouldn't really work on paper. One who's all about combat and one who's all about character. However, every now and again these clashes of styles, they do work very well. You've got a mysterious and enigmatic kickboxing aficionado in Black who has no interest in interacting with anybody else, no interest in playing any mind games. He's there to fight and nothing else. But this Velveteen Dream character, he's got a problem with that, and he is all about interacting with others, making sure he wants you to know who he is. He wants you to say his name, as he's been going on and on about the last few weeks. The back and forth between these two dynamic characters immediately piqued the interest of the Full Sail crowd. That week, when Black had his usual legs in the basket pose, Patrick Clark, in his modern-day gold dust style, seductively slithered to the floor inches from his praised face. The crowd, and me, I was quite surprised at Dream's blatant attempt at stirring Black from his calm and collected trance. It was just crazy. Since then, Dream has been on a warpath purely for Black to say his name. That's all he wants, and it's driving him insane that Black won't do as he is bidden. Dream has become obsessed and desperate. It has an air of two people in a relationship who've broken up, and one scorned lover simply can't move on. They are physically and mentally provocative, and to have the object of their affections pay no heed, it really has stood out from the rest of the card as quite a fascinating story, and a product that is, intentionally or not, heavily focused on machoism and alpha male tendencies. I've said in the past that I'm not a massive fan of Aleister Black's style. He still seems cumbersome to me, but he is improving. But for me personally, Patrick Clark comes across as a very accomplished and tough athlete, so that should be an interesting matchup. Despite there being an epic matchup for what I presume will be the main event, another clash of beasts is taking place between Lars Sullivan and Cassius Ohno. When I read that this match was going to happen at Takeover, I didn't care that it seemed random. I didn't care that I would assume that Cassius Ohno would have been in the main event scene of NXT by now due to his resume, back catalogue, pedigree, all that. I just saw the potential of two super heavyweights, one of them as athletic as hell, battering each other senseless. The kicks and forearms that will be flying about the place between these two just seems ridiculous to me. And with the potential of the whole night being set up with two rings, there really will be a feeling of, like, I'm not 100% sure that the whole event will be two rings beside each other, but if that's the case, there really will be a feeling of not being able to contain this match. Excellent stuff. I'll have my Bludgeon Brothers hammer in my hands for this one. The Fatal 4-Way Women's title match is fine. I've not got any overly negative feelings towards it. In fact, it has Nikki Cross and one half of the iconic duo in it, who, in my opinion, have been the glue that held the undercard of the women's division together for the last year and change. What irks me about it is that I think Kairi Sane will win. She was hot throughout and coming out of the Mae Young Classic, but this is a wee bit of a hot take, right? Her music, presentation, gimmick, in-ring psychology, they are impressive, I will give her that, but she seems like a really clumsy wrestler to me. Her finishing move, Insane Elbow, rarely hits true. In fact, in her match in the Mae Young Classic, I think it was with Bianca Belair, the girl with the really long ponytail, I think it was her, she nearly missed the elbow altogether. She landed in some bizarre, awkward position where the elbow was nowhere near its intended target. It was pretty awful, actually. She's got a lot of work to do for me personally before she is mentioned in the same breath as many of the NXT Women's Champions over the last few years. So I hope she doesn't win, to be honest. If either Peyton Royce or Nikki Cross win, I'll be a happy man. I think Iconic Duo have done such good work this year, and Peyton in particular has been getting a lot of ring time, and there is no rust there at all. I think it could be the Australian that picks up the gold here, and that could be really interesting moving forward. Moving on to the men's title match between Cien Almas and Drew McIntyre. I feel a bit sorry for Drew McIntyre, actually. He was selling the match with Bobby Roode really well, both on TV and in interviews, like real life interviews. Felt like a big deal, and Drew came across as a guy who could be a corporate babyface that Vince would see dollar signs with. Now, it's only been a few months, so fair enough, but since Drew won the title, he has been a bit of an afterthought as the Adam Cole show has come along. Drew doesn't feel like the main event at the moment, and I think he should be treated as a main event. His promos that he has week in, week out, whether it's in the ring or backstage, they prove that for me. So hopefully once this stable warfare calms down, Adam Cole will be the next in line for a title shot. That's if Drew retains. Then the focus will be back on McIntyre as the main event guy. But I can't say I'm not over the moon for Cien Almas and all this as well. He has quietly been one of my favourites in NXT for quite some time, and seeing his long-term story of being a hard partier and not caring about losing his matches to having a manager on board who has shifted his goals to that of the NXT Gold, it's been great to see. I think he deserves a title shot, and then we can see if he can handle being in a main event spot. I was actually watching Drew's promo from the NXT this week, and he does a really good job of firing up the troops in Full Sail and getting people on his side. A few weeks ago he had a really gruelling match with Roderick Strong, and Cien has a similar brutal style, so this could be a sleeper hit. It's been a long time since the men's title match has been the match of the night at a Takeover, in my opinion, so hopefully we get this here. Lastly, if any of you saw the TV episode where Regal announced the Wargames match between Sanity, Undisputed Era and Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong, then you'll know that there is an excitement about this one here. By the way, what an odd pairing, Roderick Strong and the Authors of Pain. This to me just screams of wanting to shoehorn Strong into the card but not really knowing what to do with him. They've had him being apparently scouted by Cole, Fish and O'Reilly, but it's not seemed very organic to me. It's just an odd combination. I don't know, it's kind of putting me off the stable dynamics of scale, as it were. But anyway, I still think it'll be interesting. I'll be honest, I've only seen one or two Wargames matches in my whole life, and teaming that up with WCW's back in the day, they're quite below par production quality. It did come across as a bit of a naff presentation overall, but I think it is in the right hands with Triple H and the rest of the creative team to produce something that is to the strengths of all wrestlers involved. It has been 20 years since the last Wargames happened, and you could easily make the argument that all 9 competitors are of a better athletic calibre than previous entrants, so I'm sure it will be fine. It's just a bit of an unknown for me, and I'm not sure what to expect. However, from previous personal experience, there have been a good few takeovers in the past that I didn't really have high expectations going into, and usually I leave feeling, 1,000% satisfied with the last 2.5 hours. So bring it on, NXT, and give me Wargames. Thanks for listening, and now back to the show for our regular WWE quiz, and here comes your quiz music now.
It's fucking quiz time with Ricky and Clive and friends. A fucking WWE quiz.
Right. So for our new listeners, this is a segment that we have every week where we end the show with a little bit of lightheartedness and have ourselves a WWE quiz. The themes could vary throughout the week. There's no scorekeeping here. It's just a bit of fun, and hopefully you play along at home without cheating. So no cheating at home, listeners. So I kept this quiz from the last episode we did, and it's a surprise title change quiz. All right. So, Ricky, would you like to tell the listeners what your buzzer is, please?
Mine is the line from the famous Carlito: I spit in the faces of people who don't want to be cool.
And Barry, what's yours buzzer? Quiz buzzer?
So mine's is a famous twist on DDPs. It's me, it's B-A-Z.
There we go. So you all know who's going to come in. Right, number 1. AJ Styles shocked the world as it is the first time in 14 years since the WWE title changed. When was the last time that the main event title changed hands on SmackDown? So it doesn't have to, it's either the WWE or the world title. When was the last time that changed hands on SmackDown?
It's me, it's B-A-Z.
Okay, Barrett.
What year do you want me to tell you what the match was? Or?
If you've got the match and the year, that would be fine.
Okay, so I could be wrong, but I think it's 2007, and it was the Great Khali winning the Battle Royal.
That is wildly incorrect, I'm afraid.
Oh, sugar.
Richard. You don't need to buzz in.
Sorry?
You don't need to buzz in for this one.
There's a few in mind. Did you say WWE title?
Any main event?
I don't think it was sure.
Because it Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar in the Iron Man match.
No. It was January 2013 where Alberto Del Rio beat the Big Show in a last man standing match.
I must have wiped that from my memory.
Del Rio,
mate. A good match, actually. I think I remember that. Yeah.
That's when Del Rio wasn't on the gear.
Face. He was a face, I don't know.
Right, number 2. How many times has British Bulldog won a title in England?
How many times?
Titles.
I
thought you said times enough.
I did. How many times has British Bulldog won a title in England?
I mean, that's not including his.
It's including all of them.
It's B-A-Z.
Okay.
2.
Would you hazard a guess as to what the titles were?
Well, he beat Bret Hart at Wembley Arena for the Intercontinental title.
Uh-huh.
And something's telling me the other one was the European title.
Well, no, but that wasn't my question. That wasn't my question anyway. So you did say how many times. So I'll give you the point. It was the hardcore title at Insurrection.
I knew it was one of their events anyway. Insurrection or Rebellion. The other one.
Number 3. Who did Jericho beat to win his first world title?
As in when it went World Heavyweight, or was that?
Just at the main event, world title.
Right, okay. Oh, shit.
I'll need to speak to JR about some quiz music to play in the background. Come on, gentlemen.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Ricky?
Steve Austin.
No. Oh, you might kick yourself for this one, gents. Barry?
It's obviously when it's blank to the memo. Oh, God. I could actually probably tell you, nah, I'm wrong on that as well. So, I've just guessed The Rock.
Incorrect. You might be annoyed at me or you might kick yourselves. In April of 2000, Chris Jericho beat Triple H clean in the ring on a Raw for the world title. But then Triple H reversed it later on. He wanted a rematch and bullied Earl Hebner into doing a fast count for it. Do you remember that at all?
No.
Not really, but I thought it was going to be... At first I thought it was the time when he'd won he fought Triple H at Mania. But I know he got lost that match, but I thought that's when he'd won it previously, but it wasn't. It's when he won the unified titles that time.
Right. So it was
first of all,
back in the day it was. Right, so number 4. After defeating Triple H, how did Vince McMahon lose the world title? So you do remember that Vince McMahon beat Triple H one time? Uh-huh. Can you remember how he lost that title?
It's B-A-Z. Did they not just lie down the ring and get pinned?
No. Ricardo, would you like to make a guess?
How did they lose it?
How did he not become the champion?
Oh wait, actually, never became the champ.
Oh, fucking hell. How did he not? How was he a champion one day and then not the champion the next?
He vacated it.
Yes, well done.
Aye.
A point to you.
Aye, I don't think. Right, okay.
What's that? One each.
One each. Right, so.
Did you get one before? Oh, hold on, Ricky. I think you got one right before me. I think there's no 2 words at all.
No.
No, I didn't.
Alright.
So this is the decider. You need to get your memory caps on here. The first world title changed on Raw. The first world title change on Raw happened in February 97, as far as Wikipedia is concerned. Who won the world title on Raw? Who was the first person to do it on a Monday Night Raw?
Jeez. 97, did you say?
Aye.
Jeez,
Is that just too random a question?
No, because there's a quite obvious answer. I'm thinking now, but I think I might be getting the year wrong.
Would you like to?
I think no, I'm not going because it was they were. No, I'm not taking that. I guess it wasn't that because I don't think they were. What year did you say it was? 97, aye.
97, yeah.
97.
I might have to do a countdown here soon.
I mean, have you got a question lined up?
Yeah, we've got one, yeah.
Oh, good.
Do you pass?
Start the countdown then.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Right.
Am I allowed to take a guess?
Aye.
Oh, this is nothing but an absolute guess.
Take the guess then.
Right, here we go.
This is an absolute guess while I casually check my phone.
No, because I was going to say Brett, but I don't even know if Brett was there at that point.
What is your guess?
Taker?
Incorrect. Barry, question, guess.
Well, I get a chance to guess. Well, I'll say Brett then.
No. The answer was Psycho Sid.
No, I would never have got that.
So I was going to say the obvious one, Mankind, when DX helped him, but
That was
I knew
1999.
DX only. I knew that wasn't that only in 97, so. And DX anyway.
Right.
I thought, well, they're just starting out.
I've got another decider. How many times has Edge won a main event title, so either the WWE or the World Heavyweight title? How many times has Edge won that title when he wasn't scheduled to be in that title match?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, I know one for definite.
Mm-hmm.
I know 2 for definite.
Oh, right.
But what are you thinking of it?
You're not...
Well, the most obvious, I know what the most obvious one is, but another one I actually believe it was that Survivor Series.
That's probably the one Ricky was talking about.
Yeah,
Was it?
that is.
Alright, I thought.
I'm talking about the one with Triple H and Kozlov.
Aye, alright, I thought the first obvious one was. Can I say that then? Or that's that ruining it? Or?
Well, it's...
Say that helps Ricky then, doesn't it? So I might just give it to myself and I thought of that one yet.
Right. I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Okay, how many?
3.
Oh, no.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
It's
Damn it!
Barry.
It's BAZ. Is it just the 2 then?
No, it's not. Oh, boy.
4?
4.
It must be now.
He won.
Well, the other one I was thinking of was the Money in the Bank cash in.
He cashed in against Cena. He cashed in against Undertaker. He appeared at Survivor Series, and there was a match, a chamber match, where Jeff Hardy eliminated him, he was the world champ at the time, in the first chamber match of the night, and then in the second chamber match of the night, he attacked Kofi Kingston before Kofi got into the chamber.
So he did.
And took his place and won the
That's
title.
right.
What the ultimate opportunity is at it again, guys. Right, I've only got one question left.
Okay, fucking hell.
When was the last?
A never-ending quiz.
When was the last time the WWE title changed hands on SmackDown?
What we're going for breakfast tomorrow?
The WWE. What one's WWE title again?
What's
The one that's currently around the waist of AJ Styles.
The one that's not.
Is that what it is?
The one that's not the big gold belt, the big gold plate. The one that's not that one.
So the one AJ Styles has got?
Back in the day, I mean, aye.
So I is AJ Styles one, but it's the one from back in the day and also.
Sorry, can you repeat the question again, please?
It wasn't that hard a question.
I forgot it.
I was actually going to ask him to repeat it because I wanted to see how it was worded.
When was the last time the WWE title changed hands on SmackDown television?
Fuck it, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Right? For fuck's sake.
It was November 7, 2017. AJ Styles beat Jinder Mahal.
Correct.
Do you know what? I will not accept your answer, but I'll give you another shot because I wasn't clear. I wasn't, I meant before that.
I spit in the face of people don't be cool. Brock Lesnar Kurt Angle Iron Man match.
Yes, that's it.
Is it actually?
Yes, that was the last time.
A pure guess.
So finally we've got a winner, and it's now 2018. I hope you all enjoyed Survivor Series because we missed it. Right, so guys, this is coming to the end of the show. I'll need to do a wee bit of some plugging here if you don't mind for a couple of seconds. Feel free to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Ricky and Clive. We are, as I was mentioned earlier, we are now proud members of Social Suplex Podcast Network with the other shows on it, which are One Nation Radio and the SMC Podcast. We're all available on iTunes and Android, so they can all be searched for under the Social Suplex Podcast, like when you're doing the search engine thing, you know what I mean, Social Suplex. Subscribe to and rate the show on iTunes or at the host website, socialsuplexwrestling.podbean.com, and check out our blogs and websites for columns and news on the latest podcasts being dropped. And by the way, just a wee shameless plug, I've got my own Unsung Heroes column series available on socialsuplex.com, so head over there to read me marking out for all those sorry-arsed mid-carders out there. And you can also join a community on the Wrestling Squared Circle on Facebook. That was a long one. I might shorten that for next week. That was almost as long as the quiz. Any last words before we go, gentlemen?
Yeah, just want to say a big thank you to the guys at Social Suplex Podcast Network. We appreciate it. Hope to do you guys proud, and hopefully we continue getting more listeners, and we appreciate everyone, and hopefully you understand our accent.
Aye, feel free to play the thing at half speed. So, it might shock you, but this isn't, we don't actually all talk like how Drew McIntyre talks. We talk a bit more like Noam Dar on Ecstasy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Barry?
I just enjoyed the debut show, and I think excitement is the word for Survivor Series, so I've been really shocked it was a disappointment, so really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to hopefully getting to see it live as well.
Aye, so you keep saying, guys.
See, you know how you just mentioned Noam Dar, right? See, when he goes on Twitter, he like tweets everything as if he's saying it like in proper like Scottish.
Aye.
The way we speak. So I read one of his tweets, and someone's got an account called Noam Dar Translated. So every single tweet they translate it into quote unquote proper English. Found that quite funny.
Might have a wee scratch at that one.
Because he tweeted something about they were getting torn into like a bottle of wine or something. I can't mind what it was again, but it was kind of funny. Just typical Scottish chat.
Right. So this is us signing off, and as Barry said, Survivor Series, if it disappoints, I'll be angry. So fucking deliver, please, Vince. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and we'll speak to you next week. Good night.
Take care, guys.
Take care. Good night. God bless.